Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of the ongoing anthology series that I've been running for almost 3 years now called Star Wars Saturdays, which happen on Saturdays for me. I run it for the Gauntlet community, which is this online grouping of fans, aficionados, and friends who just like small press, indie, and OSR style tabletop role-playing games. In the Star Wars Saturdays, what I do is every month I will offer up a different RPG system, and groups from the Gauntlet will RSVP. It's kind of a hat toss. So we have lots of different players who cycle in and partake in Star Wars Saturdays fun. And we will make characters within that RPG system, carve out a corner of the galaxy in the Star Wars universe, and tell stories. And often we have recurring characters. We have non-player characters that will reoccur. We have player characters who will show back up and get reinterpreted in different game systems. We have recurring players who have created their own like interconnected canon, which is delightful. It's great. It's very fun and creative, and we always have a pretty darn good time. This is the second session of the October 2020 series of Teens in Space. Teens in Space uses the Kids on Bikes RPG system. It is trendy in that there's stats and nice. That book is really pretty. I love that cover. Thank you very much, Craig. It's a trendy game in that there's a little bit of like discrete task resolution stuff going on here, but there's definitely some influence of the more story-oriented RPGs as well. I've been reading over the combat and ship combats, who knows why, but just looking at that, just so I don't flub it terribly. I think it'll be all right. It's interesting. There are no hit points, so you ever get totally messed up or you lose improvements, that's your hit points somewhere. It's wild. We'll see how that goes. And so we're a second session in, and let's go around the horn and introduce folks. After I remind us of our safety tools, we have lines and veils and ask firsts, and on top of that we have the X card. Lines against sexual assault and violence and coercion and torture. That means we don't want that in our story, and it won't be there. We have veils, which means that it's okay if the content exists. We just don't want to shine a light on it. And the veils are consensual sex and grief or loss. And then we have ask first. And these content, we will hopefully keep each other honest on this and remind in case anyone stumbles into it. And it's a thing where if you're like, oh, I think I'm going to introduce this thing, just check with the table first and ask first for harm to pet animals, mind control or domination, and suicide. So those are the three things that we ask first. And then on top of that, we have the X card, which I mentioned earlier. That is the trump card, in that if there's a thing you didn't think of, but it's bothersome, problematic, harms your fun, don't want to deal with it, whatever, you get to say, hey, Rich, I need to X card this particular thing. We'll pause the game. We won't stop it, but we will pause just so I understand exactly what's been X carded. Not going to ask you to explain it. You don't need to tell me why. Tell the story of it. Don't need to dredge that up. Just wanted to make sure, okay, you did the thing with the teeth. That's the thing that you X carded. Cool. Not going to have it anymore. Done. We move on. It will not be an impediment to our fun, I promise. With all of that out of the way, let's go around the horn and do an introduction of players and player characters. Then we'll pick right back up from the cliffhanger that we ended on last session. I'm going to go right to left on the character keeper, which means that Sherry, you get to go first. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Sherry. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Marseille. She is the captain. And essentially, she comes from a wealthy family, the Say shipping conglomerate, and she is she's been raised in that environment of pilots and ships and schedules and all of that stuff. She's an excellent captain, and furthermore, she's a particularly dashing captain, or so she would have you believe. And everything that she wants is about being what her ideal of a captain is. So that is pretty much where she is now. She always supports her crew. And right now, it's an exciting moment to be that crew support person. So is that everything you need?
That's all I need.
All right.
There was a question that happened in chat that I'm just going to answer now. Once you've done introducing yourself, you get 2 improvement points for last game that you can use however you wish, or you can bank it. 1 IP for making the game more fun for everyone else at the table, and 1 for role-playing your character well. I judge that you all did so. And since this, as I said, is a trendy game, the GM says what happens a lot. I just said it. Thank you very much, Sherry, for your introduction. Sabine, you're up.
Hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns. I am playing Syra Tarvo, who uses she, her pronouns. Syra is a Sigerian, but unlike the most Sigerians, she's not a slaver. She didn't even grow up in the Sigerian culture. She grew up with a merc band who was mostly about liberating either people or things. The Unbound, and now she's striking out on her own. She is curious, she is also impatient, and she's the ship's pilot. She likes flying fast. She likes talking back to people who want to tell her who she's supposed to be, and she likes spraying art on things, because that is a very worthy endeavor.
Yes, indeed, it can be. Last but not least, Greg, you're up.
Hi, I'm Greg Gelder. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Karwu, who also uses he, him pronouns. Karwu is a Celestin. He is the ship's engineer, somewhat begrudgingly. He brought the Gundark up from the surface of, oh gosh, which planet was it again? Purgator? Is that what? Purgator.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Up from the surface of Purgator, and there's a sales priest from Purgator who thinks he owns it, and kind of technically in a legal sense probably does. But really, what Karwu wants to do is he wants to be a barber. He wants to be a traveling barber who flies around and cuts people's hair. And he thinks he's pretty good at it. He thinks so. We'll find out next time he gets to roll if he really is. But yeah, I'm excited. Last time he managed to get the Gundark out of the ship's bay and get us disconnected from the boot that was attached. And then as Zara flew off with the ship, he briefly touched hands with Dia, the Twi'lek.
That's right. Oh yeah, Dia Bonduna and Sero Sundar are your 2 official passengers, and then there is another member of your crew, Ivory, who is a Ratataki who stowed away on the Tempest. I'm curious. I'll ask one question and then we will pick things up. Captain Marseille, what do you have Ivory do on the ship? Like, what's her job?
Well, it's sort of like some days she's anxious and then some days she's sort of a social butterfly. So like every morning, kind of at breakfast, we decide whether she's going to be the guest's liaison and, essentially helping them out, or whether she's going to be on, maid duty for the things of when they're out, that she sneaks in and fixes things back up and stuff. But so far we've been going pretty thinking she's been through a ton of trauma, so we're trying to be nice to her and still find a place because she doesn't have anywhere to go.
She's got no place else to go. It's true.
That we know of.
So
she hasn't volunteered anything.
No, she does not volunteer much. We pick up and the first thing that we notice is the light comes up in this little cutscene. I'm doing cutscenes now. I don't know what's going on, but here we go. We recognize a little bit of the music that was on Aderlon from the club where you guys are. It's distant. Then there's a smoky haze kind of filter, and it comes up on none other than the Athorian sales priest Deneb Pafan. And he's there, and he's received a datapad report that the drumming Gundark, as it's written on the pad, the drumming Gundark has escaped, and they're unsure where it was. Like, jumped into hyperspace is the report from 2 starfighters that were part of the Adarlonian defense force, and that they took off into hyperspace, unknown where they were headed. And Deneb says, this is very disturbing. We were soon coming to a point when the costs outweigh the benefits of reobtaining the ship that is mine, it seems. And then there's the Thorian's eyes kind of swivel up, and he looks at someone that we haven't seen yet and says, are you entirely sure you're able to ascertain the location of this stolen ship? And the camera swings around, and we see another Zygerian who is staying with his arms crossed, and we see the little whip, the electric whip that is the kind of standard issue for the slaver Zygerians, the catfolk of which Zyra is a member. And he says with a snarl, oh yes, I know her scent. I can track down my niece anytime I want. And you hear, whoa, 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 whoa. Very good. Oh, yes, I'm very happy to hear that. Because they are very dangerous and quite skilled. You should be very careful, Atai Taf. Very careful, because they are dangerous. And it cuts to Atai Taf, who nods, and then there's a quick cut to the cockpit of the Gundark with Ivory standing behind you, Zyra, screaming, because we swing and you've come out of hyperspace in the middle of atmosphere, and you see 400-foot high trees that you are hurtling towards, and you are probably going to crash. It's really, how soft can you make this landing is the question that we need to understand here. And so we are going to do a quick first. What is Zyra's reaction to the screaming Ivory? She's like clutching the side of the door into the cockpit there.
I don't care about people screaming. I'm used to that mostly from concerts, but also I feel that I might just have more problems than a series screaming Ratatakian right now, because I have to land the ship now, and I will turn up the shields because that could be useful in kind of not destroying the ship. And then yeah, trees, great. I don't know if we can land in a tree, but we'll try. It's novel. It's a very novel concept, landing in a tree. Hey, we've never done that before.
That's great. We also hear Karu screaming in the background. We're not sure why. That's pretty great.
Look, if everybody's screaming, I'm turning on the music.
It's like a toggle.
Yeah, and for this, we can go with Ratataki and Gorge Core, which is basically screaming anyway.
Yes, Gorge Core. Oh, well, that'll actually calm her down a little bit. I'd be like, so we must determine how bad things are going to be for you. So your difficulty is, a task where success will be incredible and impressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This too is nearly a guaranteed failure, and that would be a 17.
17?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very difficult. The good news is you're using your ship, which means that if you're using your thrusters to kind of decelerate, you get to roll that with your flight.
Oh, cool. How do I do that? Roll.
Your thrusters is a D10 because you
My
guys brought that
thrusters
way
is
up.
10. Does that add or?
It's adds. You get to roll both dice.
Oh, okay. Neat.
See?
That yeah,
Awesome.
thrusters was a good idea. Having good thrusters is awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those where
totally
you're like
agree.
kind of throwing the reverse thrusters on to decelerate a
Oh.
little bit as you're heading towards.
Okay. Cool. I think I'm rolling a d20 and a d10, and
That
I'm
sounds
adding
correct to me.
4, and I'm adding 4 because I'm.
Oh,
actually
right, because
quite-
you have
Yeah.
your skill to flying spaceships and your natural bonus
Yeah.
from. That's nice.
So I'm rolling the dice. Oh my gosh. Rolling.
from?
Come on. Oh, wow. I've got a
goodness.
total of 10.
Wait, what did, I have a point that I can give you. I have a adversity
Yeah.
token and you can re-roll the
Yeah.
stat check. So you can re-roll the D20.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is that how the.
It's the stat check. You get to roll both. You get to re-roll both.
Okay.
Oh, I can. The adversity tokens don't just give +1, but make you re-roll the.
She has.
No, I have lucky.
Oh,
It
you
allows a
have
re-roll.
your luck. Oh, yeah. So I re-roll both of them.
Well, that's a good
Okay.
question. I think.
It's a
I
stat
guess I think.
check.
Yeah, it's like it's again the improvements are vaguely phrased. You may
Mhm.
re-roll a die of your stat check if it's a multiple.
Okay.
I think that seems
That's fair,
it's
and
still advantage.
yeah, and it's still it doesn't take away the 7 from the D10, which is actually quite nice, because 7 on a D10 is a good roll, but 3 on a D20 is not. So let's see if I can do better here. Roll the die. Yeah, no, I can't.
Oof.
No. Oof, yeah, that's a 9, and that means that even with +4, 13, and even with the rest of the adversity tokens, we go to 16. If you
Yeah.
hadn't spent it, we could have made it. But hey, you know what? Sometimes luck is against you.
Yes.
Oh man! So
I didn't realize we'd made it. I thought
Yeah, we
when
had.
you said
We had.
9.
If we all had spent
had
our
to burn-
adversity
yeah.
tokens, we would have made it.
Oh, okay. So I
would have
didn't realize
burned you
that we'd
out.
done
So it actually works out. But now you have adversity tokens in a crash ship. It's okay. Carl has
Cool.
worked on this thing before. He'll work on it again and again and again.
And we
Sweet,
still did
so-
pretty good on the roll.
Did-
So-
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, we
So-
rolled a 4. We were still at 13. 13. Wait, 9 plus 4 is 13. Yeah. So
Cool.
we don't spend adversity tokens, which
If
we
you
won't,
take-
because why would we?
Yeah, exactly. Send adversity tokens to fail less. When
Yeah.
the range, if you're looking at row 57 of the
Mm-hmm.
rules on columns A and B, the scope of guidelines for failure or success, -4 to -1, the character fails, but not too badly. There might be some very minor short-term consequences, but there won't be.
Oh,
But these won't shift the story for more than a minute or two. Characters tried and
Oh,
almost succeeded.
okay.
The GM should narrate their near miss accordingly.
Okay.
Characters may have some input into the way this looks like this plays out.
This-
Near miss plays out. So I'll make that.
Wait, let me.
There we go.
There. Cool. Now I can't see anything, but yeah, okay. And I get the adversity token.
You
instead of
do.
spending it.
You do get an
Ooh.
adversity token.
Thank you.
So what happens is that the ship, you try to level it out, and you kick in the reverse thrusters. Everything feels like it's starting to level off, but then suddenly suddenly you see a flock of Minox flying just above the tree line, and you have to kind of, do you hit one of them, or do you throw the ship crazily to the side to avoid them?
I think I try to avoid them. That's bad luck. Hitting a Minoc is bad luck.
Yeah. So
And of course, not hitting a Minoc is also bad luck.
we are narrating a failure. It's just how. So you flip into a barrel roll, and I think what we see is poor Ivory grabs onto the door, and she ends up getting turned end over end, and she kind of slaps around a little bit, and then you come back, and as you come back in, you crash through a few of the trees, and that drags onto the landing gear that was still, affected by the boot, and that sends you tipping over, and you are able to bring her in to the dirt in a small clearing, but it skids along for quite a while, and you realize, oh wait, a clearing, we're out of the tree line, and that's when you see the cliff ahead of you. What do you do? That you're heading towards a cliff very quickly, Zyra.
Okay, so but does the Gundorg still fly? Is it still capable of flying?
You checking really, she needs to be, she has no, short version is no, she will not fly very well. She may float,
Okay,
but
that's enough.
yeah.
So I push the thrusters to give us a little speed. So we will jump off the cliff. Yeah, I know there was this advice to look where I could land, but jumping off a cliff gives me more time to figure out the landing space instead of falling. So I think that's
Sweet.
I'm just pushing the thrusters. Come on.
Nice. Give me one more roll.
Damn.
This one, the difficulty will be significantly less because you have thrown caution to the wind or doing something just a little crazy, but you're also using the benefits of coming down from a cliff instead of slamming into trees. So now we're going to say that it's a lucky 13 is your difficulty.
That's the one I can just nerf of steel myself out of.
Sweet. So as you're working that out, we'll jump back to the engine area where Karawu is. It's a thing where you felt a of the trees. You feel the something catching into the landing gear, which causes everything to skitter step, and then the slam of you guys hitting into the dirt and kind of like a skipping stone. But you're back in the air again, Karawu. What are you doing?
I imagine Karwu is running around with the fire extinguisher, like blowing out little fires in the engine room as we came out in the atmosphere, which is bad for the hyperdrive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of having a little panic attack in the back.
Nice. And then what about Captain Marseille? What's going on for you? Is this
Something.
I think she has like the systems panel up and she's watching the little damage monitors and she's going, okay. And you can see she's clearly counting up the price of repairs. All right, that's gonna, okay. Still got enough, okay. Fingers crossed, she can bring this in.
sweet? So Zyra, let's see your roll.
No, I don't. I have this ability, Nerves of Steel.
Oh, right. So
remember?
Sorry. So you are able to bring her down.
Yeah, it's by the skin of my teeth. But
Nice.
Syra's just like, this will go well now. We're jumping off a cliff and look, there's a space we can land. Won't be pretty, but come on. This will work. It's fine. And I switched the music to something swingy, soft, like and
Sweet. So the cliff is like 100 meters and there's a river that runs alongside it. So, it's kind of cut into the cliff over thousands of years. And there is a clearing on the other side that isn't the clearing of trees that don't grow up to the top of the cliff. And when you bring that down, Marseille, you pick up on, because you were checking the internals and you were at the control panel. You pick up that there are 4 vehicles, 4 pings on your radar coming in fast in your direction.
Okay, I bring them up. Might be someone I can negotiate with.
Never know.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then Zyra, as you bring the ship down, she doesn't sit exactly even, right? Because of the boot and what you guys had to do to get it off of that particular landing gear. But she does land without causing any further damage.
Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing.
darn straight. And you've got the perfect kind of point of view, Zyra, looking out into these titanic trees. And you see, well, first, it's hard to tell because of all the trees, like the depth of it, but you see a loaf cat move across. But it's like 10 meters tall.
What?
Yes.
Did I hit my head? I ask Ivory, did I hit my head? Do you see that?
And she kind of runs forward and leans.
Okay, you see that. That's good. That's good.
I want to ride it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. And I'll go on the intercom and say, hey, not only did we land on this fabulous world, there is also a giant love cat here that we might go ride.
What planet are we on?
Oh, yeah, you can easily tell that you are on the planet of Yelsane.
And what does that mean to me?
Well, if you go to the Minos cluster tab, you can grab a little bit more information.
Awesome.
So Mar, you probably know enough about the Minos cluster to know that the people of Yelsane are originally from Adarlan. It was a group of, like, imagine tech whizzes and Nouveau Riche who decided that Adarlan's kind of filthy capitalism was just not suited for them. They wanted to get some places more natural. And so they all just kind of up and left for Yelsane, created this colony. They don't even call themselves citizens or Yelsanians or anything. They just call themselves settlers.
Okay. And what is their attitude towards outsiders?
So they have this odd thing. The gravity for Yelsane is a low gravity planet because the core of the planet has very few natural metals, which has influenced their reception to outsiders. So they want to keep the planet pure, but they are pretty xenophobic to large metal constructs like big honking ships. They really don't want them landing on the planet. They do use metal, they have to, but they try to keep the overall metal content on Yelsane extremely low. So they're pretty legalistic about people that break that, meaning you might be in trouble if you get caught. But if you get back off planet, then it's fine.
And that's certainly our plan.
Sure.
Then I can assume that's who's coming in. The 4 dots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could probably assume that. Yeah. What do you want to do about it?
I want to hail them.
Nice. What do you say when you bloop?
I think she says, oh wait, what's the name of our ship? I'm the worst at this. The Gundark.
Dreaming
Dreaming.
Gundark.
Dreaming, yeah. And I think she says, greetings, this is Marseille, captain of the Dreaming Gundark. We had a unfortunate situation out in a hyperspace jump, and we've ended up here. We should be able to take off soon, but we did want to offer our apologies for, should we say, for encroaching on your territory.
Cool. What you get back is, whoa, Bark, that was a great crash. I can't believe what you did. And it's a woman's voice, like, but it sounds very kind of vibrant and maybe a little high pitched, like perhaps of someone younger. And
I say, yeah, our pilot is the best.
nice. And You will see it now, Zyra, as 4 speeder bikes. Well, one's swoop, but the other 3 are speeder bikes. Zoom past. They kind of buzz you guys.
What's the loft cat doing?
The loft cat does not like that and retreats back into the trees, and is just kind of doing that thing of like, I'm behind a tree and I'm going to peer around and watch what's going on.
Okay.
Very disapprovingly.
What was that noise?
Was speeder bike people. I think Marseille's talked to them. Or talking to them.
Yeah, and I think she will go and let's see here. She goes, yeah, there's some settlers here. And I guess we go to the door and hit the thing to open it.
Nice. So Marseille will head to the door. The door opens up, and the gangplank, I guess, like extends out. And if we look at the way the Gundark is built, it looks like that's at the kind of the butt of the ship, right? It's right at the aft.
Well, that might be the cargo gangplank.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, were you imagining then it'd be more like a side?
Yeah, on the side that doesn't have the capsule.
Oh,
So,
right. Yeah, the capsule. Zyra loves that capsule. Little escape pod.
That's not a passive escape pod. It's a capsule.
Oh, okay.
It's a warp nacelle or something like that, if we had that.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Sorry. I thought you were talking about there are a pair of escape pods to the side there. I think at least one of those is an escape pod. The other's probably an airlock. When you lower the gangplank and look out the door, you see that there are 4 humans and 1 kind of magenta skinned, which you would recognize as a Kashiri, who are all kind of dropping, like they're near the river. They're just leaving their speeder bikes, sliding off of them and starting to walk up towards you guys, or your ship.
Yeah, I've like pulled my uniform down so it's like really fitted, just like it ought to be, like super cool and collected when I step out, so I'm as dashing looking as possible.
Nice. And as you're fixing yourself, Riffin, your astromech droid, zips by and says, careful, they'll probably try to kill and eat you.
Yeah, but I think it only beeps.
Yeah, blurps and beeps, but that's what it says in binary.
I love that.
Right. She says enough.
Can I join you? I mean,
absolutely.
I don't have a ship to fly right now, so I think I'll jump up and go and see what's going on.
And I would expect Karwu will need to see the
Yeah, Karwu is definitely going outside, but is remaining a little standoffish from the swoop gang that has shown up and is focused more on the completely collapsed landing leg underneath of the Dreaming Gundark.
And we'll say that Ivory is playing liaison with Dia and Sero right now as they're unhooking their, because they buckled up, so they're perfectly fine. And so you guys all 3 head out, Karwu heading around, and the 2 of you greeting this swoop bike gang.
I just want to run up to Marseille and say, hey, did you see that? I mean, we came in from hyperspace into the atmosphere and we landed this ship. I mean, come on.
2 landings.
That
the
is,
best.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I've never done that before, but it's not that hard, really.
Oh, okay, well, we'll schedule one of those every few months. How about that?
Yeah, maybe schedules. Well, okay, sure.
She goes, I was kidding.
I wasn't.
The swoop bikers are all like watching this exchange, and the girl, so if you want to look on row 8 of the NPCs and places, that's what you see. The 4 of them there. The one girl that has a little bit of face paint, she comes up while the guy with the weird kind of spiked mohawk, he's following you, Karwu, and kind of walking around the ship, and he actually reaches and runs a hand along the hull of the ship, while the Kashiri and the girl with the kind of undercut, they're forming like this triangle behind the leader. She says, "Hey, I'm Drama. Man, that was so bless."
Yeah, that was a thing, right?
I was barking crazy. You took out. Oh, I haven't seen anything like that. We don't see many ships.
Yeah,
We're the
that
Pit
was-
Vipers.
Huh?
We're the
What,
Pit
Vipers?
Vipers. That's our gang name. We're tree punks.
Those are nice
Oh.
speeders.
Cool. Yeah.
And
What's that giant love cat doing over there? I'm asking them.
oh yeah,
Do
Drama.
you see that, Mar?
Drama looks over. Oh, is this where she went? Yeah. Lost cats. There's like a pack of them around here. Be careful.
They're usually small.
Oh yeah. Well, everything's big in Yelsane. At least in this part of the continent. It's pretty great.
Okay. Will we grow big like that?
Well, yeah. It's just the way things happen in Yelsane. The Kashiri says, why did you guys come here? What are you doing on Yelsane?
We crash landed.
Oh.
And she
Sad,
kind of,
man.
yeah. And she turns to Karwu. It goes and lists off the systems that are damaged.
I knew about the landing gear. I didn't think we could damage the comms unit anymore. How did you? Oh.
Okay, shouldn't take too long.
Drama says, I'm going to check out your ship. And then she tries to walk around you and go up the gangplank. What do you do?
And I think I do sort of stop and say, "Oh, would happy to give you a tour. However, things are in something of a disarray right now. It would be good if you let us, how should we say, repack the ship."
Oh, that's fine. My room's always a mess. And she's gonna try to like skip around you and head up the gangplank unless you like put a hand out or.
And I think she does, and she goes, "I'm the captain. I wouldn't come and ride your bike without your permission."
And the girl with the purple hair and the undercut, she clucks her tongue like, "That's a good one." Drama says, "Barking crazy. Okay. Wow. Well, how long does it take for you to get her ready? Because I want to see it. I've never seen an actual ship."
Okay. And she
You've
goes,
been on this planet for all your life and you've never. Wow.
Oh, and
One
that is
planet.
like, yeah,
For all your life.
they all look super embarrassed about that. Like you just said they were wearing the wrong shoes to a party. And Joji says, "No, just them. I'm an off-worlder. Just them."
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I've just never. I mean, okay. I'm a space kid myself, so weird. But yeah, maybe that's weird to you. So sorry. It was just like I know that people like that existed, but I never met one.
Defensively, Drama says, "Well, I know what it's like to be out of gravity because, we it's fine. There's nothing wrong with being from Yelsane."
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Just surprised. That's all because it seems so. I mean, I shut my mouth and let Marseille talk. She's our captain.
She stops and says, "Literally most of the panels have flung themselves open. So let me go and get everything closed up, okay?"
So we'll slide around to Karwu. And what are you like? How are you check things out? Do you have just like you eyeball everything? Do you have some devices out as you're checking things?
Yeah, I think I've got like it would be like a jack that you use to jack up your car for tires, but because it's Star Wars, it's a repulsor set. So you like clap one thing underneath and one thing below it, and then they repulse each other. So I'm like writing part of the ship up so I can get to the landing gear that's been broken. And I think I'm going to try and get Tylo involved in that.
Oh,
If he's the
nice.
one. Yeah, yeah. Because, while they're here, they might as well make themselves useful. So, yeah, I'll just be like, you're familiar with this from working on your bike? Great. And I just like push it into his hands.
Yeah, he takes it, he looks at it, checks it, and he seems vaguely familiar, but then he checks a couple things and seems a little bit more comfortable. What do you want?
All right, I need you to jack up the back end so I can get back underneath to that landing gear and also where the comm antenna is. I don't know why they put it on the bottom.
Yeah, that. Okay. Well, you're in space most of the time, so I guess directional. Anyway, he moves around and starts to try to adjust it, and it takes a couple tweaks, but then you feel that lift as she comes up out of the mud a little bit. Wow, rough landing. Someone chasing you? I see score marks here. Have you guys been fired on? Like blasters?
It's crazy up in space. And Carlos just gonna try and like avoid that conversation and shimmy underneath with the tools.
Oh, that's barking awesome.
I'm gonna try and shift the conversation to his bike. Is that gosh, I don't know, swoop models?
Is that an insert technical term later?
Is that is that a Cinar engine I see on your bike?
Yeah. I had to retrofit it to fit on the swoop, but she's got a good hum to her.
Nice. Maybe I could tune it up for you sometime. And it's just trying to clicky clacky things.
Oh yeah, you can take a look anytime. Wow,
Should I make a repair to actually fix our ship so we can get out of here if we need to?
I think you should. Yeah.
Establish that's brains. What's the difficulty?
I think it's going to be a task where success is extraordinary. So we'll call it a 15.
15. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough.
So I get +3. I added my improvement points to my brains, so I get +5 on this, and I'm rolling a D10. I need to max this out.
Gotta max it out. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Hey, I did. I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10 on a D10. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So I was going to do the old
modifier on that.
You need a PQ-38 modulator if you failed, but it seems like you can patch her back together. She can be airborne.
You just add improvement points to a stat.
So yeah, it costs improvement points to get a +1. It costs 1 improvement point, and you have to have a +1 to get a +2, but you spend 2 improvement points.
Right, and it's a bonus. It's a bonus. You're not raising the die type.
Yeah, I see.
It's a heightened ability under, yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. That is very neat.
It's cool.
So we kind of exchange stuff back and forth, and I managed to repair it with possibly other parts around the ship to reinforce it.
Some stuff.
It's like, yeah, that'll work. It's only the landing gear, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And Tylo seems like there's a couple times where he goes, we should probably hurry. We're probably not the only ones who saw you guys. They don't like interlopers. They probably worry that you're smugglers or something.
Who, interlopers? What?
Our parents are real xenophobic. we've got a whole thing going on. It sucks.
Oh. Yeah. Sounds pretty bad. That's some real I don't know. It's pretty farkled.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it can be. I mean, I know that they feel like they're doing the best for everybody. I feel like the rest of the galaxy's out to hurt folks and stuff. We told them that the rebellion won and the Republic's coming and it's going to be better, but they don't want to hear it.
Well, we're not with either one of them. Maybe that'll be enough. I was going to put my tracking beacon on this guy's bike, but never mind. He's too cool.
Sorry, I'll make him less cool. No. Sweet. So we'll cut back to Marseille and Zyra. You hear Karwu working hard on the ship, and it seems like one of the Pit Vipers is helping him out. So Drama, and then she introduces herself, and then Lorcy is the third member of the Pit Vipers.
Okay, and I think that what it is Marseille comes in and says, hey, Ivory, can you get together some nice snacks and stuff? And she does literally go through the ship and close everything out, and she stops and tells Dia and Sarah that we're on Yelsane and we're getting the ship put back together just to get back up into orbit as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think Sarah will say, "Oh, yeah, we should probably go. We don't want to be caught here." And Dia says, "No, we do not. We have been caught here before. We don't want to be caught here again. If you get my meaning."
Oh,
It's gonna be in our cabin.
Okay, sure.
Locked.
All right. Ivory will use the designated knock, so you know it's her. You'll need dinner at least.
Shave and haircut. Is what she screams out.
Awesome.
And then they head into the cabin. The door closes up, and Ivory's just kind of following your lead and putting things away. Oh wait, snacks! Sorry, snacks! And she runs off towards the auto chef.
Excellent. All right, and I get the place. I will come back then as soon as we've kind of got things set and say, okay, she's all put together. Why don't we take a quick tour before anyone finds us?
Farah's already gone to look at the Loxcat from a bit closer.
Oh, nice. So you just got to go off by yourself. You're going to check out the... Are you
There's a
curious
lock.
or something? Because I think
So,
probably
yeah.
will.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I totally am.
So they're all like doing their business, and you're walking through, and there's, occasionally you'll step on little bits of branch or the like, but you're moving quietly, I assume. If you want to sneak up on the Lothcat?
Nah. I remember lost cats from ships and things, and they don't like being snuck up, and then they will run away. And I mean, this one is pretty big, so I figure it might try to bite me if I started it. So no, I'm trying to go there, and I'm talking softly, like, "Hey, who's a pretty cat? Hello."
Nice. Okay, then you're using some charm. Let's see if you can.
Look, my
charm.
ears look a bit like yours.
Sneaking up on it would have been a very, very challenging task, but the difficulty for charming it is, we'll call it a lucky 7.
Okay. That is possible, but not likely.
That's better than a standard house cat.
Well, it's a 5, so.
Okay, cool. So you rolled a 5, and 5 means you within 4. So yeah, you move around, and you see that Lothcat that you originally recognized. And when it sees you, it just scales up one of the trees and goes up to a branch that's about 20 meters up. So really, really, really high up. But for it was just and then it's just kind of hunkered down on the branch and watching you curiously. It turns its head. It's got those big Lothcat eyes.
I'm looking up and I'm saying, look, you are making a tactical mistake here. I'm lighter than you, you know? And then I'm clamber up the tree myself.
And yeah, you clamber up the tree, and the Lothcat watches you. It tilts his head, and his little ears kind of rotate around a little bit. And then it moves just a little bit closer to you, and it looms over, but the body language is not aggressive as much as curiosity.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Kind of sniff at you.
Sniff back. Can't eat me. And I try to kind of touch it if it lets me. Pet it.
Kind of skips back.
Don't fall down. Don't fall down. It's cool. Everything's cool. Kitty.
Then it moves a little bit closer along the branch and lowers its head. I mean, its head, it's a 10 meter. So it's just gigantic, right?
Yeah, but I can still kind of pet the ears.
Yeah, when you reach up to pet, it flicks the ear, and you actually almost feel like a little gust of wind. Is so large, but yeah, it kind of leans in. You could actually see into its ear cavity, and one thing that you notice is there is a small, like the size of fingers, like a tag on the lower part of its ear.
Okay. Yeah, don't care much about the tag. That I just want to pet the cat.
I mean, a man-made tag, like
and I realize
so
what
I'm clear
it
on
is.
what I meant by tag.
Yeah, yeah. Well, who cares if you can pet a cat? Who cares if it's been chipped or anything? I mean, it's a giant cat. Come on.
It is absolutely a giant Lothcat. Yes. So yeah, you end up petting its fur. Is very soft. You can see though it's an outside cat, right? So there's areas where the fur is slightly matted, and you see that there are several coats, and there's even signs that it's been in a few scraps over its years. It appears to be a young adult of its kind. You catch its scent. And it eventually comes to a point where it just rubs the side of its face against your shoulder, and it's that affectionate thing, but it's actually also marking you, kind of deal.
Yeah, and I try not to fall off the branch I'm standing on.
You end up having to grab onto a little bit of its fur, but
yeah, probably. Sorry. Don't push me down the branch. I'm not that good at falling. I mean, okay, I fell down with the ship, so you probably think I am. And I've fallen off higher stuff, but still, don't push me off. And I'll try to get onto its back if it lets me, mostly to try to get my hands wherever I need to put them to kind of pet it, and it's not, I don't know the word. When you do this with someone like this, what's the word for that?
Scritch.
Yes. Okay. Then I'll try to do that with it.
Nice. Yeah. So you scritch it and try to coax your way to get on top of it. I'm going to give you one more charm roll. Otherwise, it's like not having it today.
Okay.
But I will say that the difficulty, because your calmness is lower, we'll say that it is a 5. It's likely for all.
Okay.
But those who aren't skilled or have a low stat in the field. So.
Oh, I've got a 3.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't want it. It's fine.
Yeah, you start to kind of climb up, and it scoots away a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't run away. You can tell, like, don't do that again.
Okay, then I won't. I respect other beings' boundaries. Just so soft.
Cool. And as you are enjoying this petting time with this giant Lothcat, you hear in the distance the low hum of a repulsor engine, like of something coming this way.
I'll use my comm link because I think I have one.
Sure.
And say, hey, Marseille, there are more people coming. I think I'm just with this last love cat, and it's so soft.
And Marseille, who's in the middle of the tour,
Yeah.
is
They are very handsy. They touch everything.
Okay.
Like they pick things up. And yes, if Karwu were here, he would be very upset. Joji seems a little more reserved, but Drama and Lorsi, they're like, whoa, what's this? And then they kind of hand it back and forth to each other. They're pressing buttons and fiddling with things.
And there's that thing of, she's like, it's this. And then like, as soon as she can, she picks it up and puts it back, she's, but she does show them everything. And then she gets that message from Zyra, and she stops and she goes, there's a ship coming in. And she goes, do you need to be somewhere?
Drama's eyes get a little wide. She says, "Oh, it's probably Baku. We should, and Lord says we should hide." And then Joji says, "Our bikes are right out front, idiots. We gotta go." And Drama takes off at that, and Lorsi follows, and then Joji says, "Just let them know you crashed. As long as everything looks all carked up, you'll be okay." And they're heading for the door and then running off towards their speeder bikes to get out of here. Karwu, Tylo wouldn't hear this thing because you guys are busy working, right? So, yeah, Joji, Lorsi, and Drama are taking off. Marseille, what? You notice that Zyra isn't around, maybe.
Yeah, but I do have the comm link, and I say you should probably come back. I assume that we're going to leave as soon as possible, Zyra.
Oh, damn. Okay. But it's so soft. Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay. Yeah, and then I will see if I can get a beat on what the ship is that's arriving. Like,
cool.
So essentially so I can communicate.
Yeah, absolutely. You grab through sensors, you see that there's effectively like a skiff, not completely unlike the skiff from like Return of the Jedi. And it's zipping along the river because that way it doesn't have to, ride above the trees, and it gets a good line of what's going on.
Okay. And I will ping it if I can, and as soon as and then just give that same message that essentially we're here, we've crash landed, we are making the repairs, we will leave as soon as we can, and said, and then if they come back, I will offer to get them an ETA from my mechanic.
Good. So this is Baku Tarask. You are not welcome on this planet.
So we are given to understand. Our arrival here was unintended, and our plans to leave are as our highest agenda.
Very well. We have had smugglers in the past. You interlopers will submit to us inspecting your ship to make sure that you're not bringing any accursed metal onto Yelsane.
And she sort of steps and says, we're a passenger ship? But sure. And she goes, I don't see where that would be a problem. Of course, she does see where it would be a problem, but she's working that out right now. So,
nice.
And essentially, she'll go, when you arrive, the mechanic Karwu is currently under the ship. You can check with them to see what
you landed the ship on your mechanic. That is foolish.
It was. However, he's very good at coping with those sorts of situations, so it will be fine. And yeah, and then she clicks off, and she goes to tell Dia and Sarah that there will be a search, And I said, if you want to hide, we don't have any of the compartments that are for storing the additional weapons stuff filled up. I don't think they would be poking in those. They look like, how do you say, they're sealed. I apologize.
Zero says, it's quite all right. Getting off of Aderlon was important. Who knew we would end up here? And it's not your fault that we're wanted here. So we'll call it even on that. Yes, the weapons locker will be good.
All right. And I will set them up in there. A few pillows, so it's a little comfortable.
How tight is it?
It is not that tight for Dia. I think for Sarah, it's a little too short. So he's got that awkward, like it's 4 inches too short, which is, sort of has to put his legs up high and try to put things at an angle.
He kind of starts to complain about it just a little bit, like not overly, but then Dia says, "Do you want me to trank you?" No. Maybe no. Well, I'll trank you. No, it's fine. Just my leg will go to sleep and it will suck, but that's fine.
I'll stuff a pillow under his leg, so there.
We cut outside to Drama screaming out, "Tyler, we gotta go! We gotta go! They're on their way!" And tells, "I'm kind of holding up a piece of the ship."
Oh no, you can release it now if you really have to go.
He pulls his hand. Oh. Okay, good luck.
I like your hair.
Oh, thanks. And he takes off running, and then and they're taking off. And yeah, this is exactly when I think we should have a quick bio break. It's 35 after. Let's take 10. We'll be back at a quarter till. See you guys in a bit. Cool. And we're back. I will start by sharing a picture for anybody that doesn't remember what the skiffs look like. This is a skiff from Return of the Jedi, the Jabba's palace, except this skiff is zipping along the river. Above the river, gently, you see a little bit of the waves ripple as the repulsor lift just comes above it. It's maybe a couple meters above the water line, and you see that there are a total of there are 5, mostly humans, near humans, and they come along. They probably saw the swoop bikes that zipped out of there, but who knows? They don't seem terribly concerned about that. Captain Marseille, I assume you head down to greet them?
Yes.
Cool. And you notice...
I run over to get back to the spaceship.
You're like coming in from the opposite side, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I'll slow down to look because I'm curious.
Nice. You see the skiff comes and it never fully settles down. The repulsor stays on. And of the 5, 3 of them come down. 1 stands back. The one that's standing back, he does have a blaster rifle. He's got it kind of slung, and he has it up here, but he doesn't have it up. He could easily just bring it up and fire. It's definitely I am taking a militaristic stance. Mm-hmm. They're not wearing uniforms. In fact, you notice that there's where there will be buckles. There's more leather ties. They are pretty. Even here, and on just little bits of metal, they do what they can to avoid it. Kind of imagining how there are vegan shoes for people that don't want to wear leather. They have metal. They've kind of chitinous things that they use, bone and the like, instead of regular metal clasps and the like. And the one who comes down first, he has the same eyes as Strama. You kind of pick up that there's probably a family There's a family resemblance there.
Okay.
And Baku, we spoke.
I'm Captain Marseille. And
You're very young to be a captain. Where's the real captain?
I'm Captain Marseille.
You're a slip of a girl. Stop playing games.
And she goes, let me get the ship's charter.
Ooh, nice. You're like, I'm not going to answer you with argument. I'm going to show you the charter, my name. Nice. That's pretty awesome. That'll trump him very easily.
Yeah, I'll amble up to them and stare at them rather insolently and give a little salute. Captain, hi.
And I go, and this is my pilot, Zyra. Sorry.
Yeah.
As she's walking into the ship.
He may not be able to tell like ages on Zygerian, so he lets that go.
I'm standing at the door and staring at them.
Like, like balefully? Or
yeah, no, more like, what are these guys? They look ridiculous. And I'm asking them, hey, are you one of these people who have never left their own planet as well?
We have everything we could need on Yelsane.
Wow. Okay.
And Baku says, perhaps you wonder because you have never found what you truly want.
Now I have found what I truly want. Did you know that I landed this ship from hyperspace on here?
He glances
and I'm sorry
up.
It crashed on your planet, but I'm still kind of hyped about that.
Does not look like you landed it very well.
Hi, I landed it from hyperspace, don't you listen? People don't do that usually.
You come out of hyperspace to your sublight engines, you enter the atmosphere, and you land.
No, we didn't. No. See, that's not what happened, though. Came out of hyperspace and we were in the atmosphere.
So your hyperspace coordinates were faulty. And you want to take credit for that?
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Come on, what do you know about hyperspace coordinates anyway?
So Karwu, are you outside and kind of witnessing this, I assume?
I think Karwu is going like almost ignoring everything and going straight for the skiff. And it's going, that's a Bantha 2, isn't it? Or Becky can make? And just like pointing at certain things on it, yeah.
The guy with the blaster rifle who's up on the skiff, he's like, yeah, you know your skiffs.
Wow. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen one of those that wasn't in the service of a hut. And it just like meaningfully glancing.
You get this look from him that like, that is a super uncomfortable statement that you've just made. Maybe even a slightly guilty look from him. Says, well, I wouldn't know about that.
Typically, if it's been used for just commercial purposes, it wouldn't have this modification. I'm just going to start pointing out like some of the stuff on the underside.
Yeah, it's you've nailed this guy. This is absolutely like affiliated in some way with huts. That is a thing. He's not super proud. He says, listen. It's got the lowest metal content of any repulsor lift technology. Okay.
Well, yeah, when you strip out a lot of the, the safety devices, it certainly does.
What are safety devices, right? A good pilot.
Well, those modifications are illegal. Only the huts do them. I'm trying to force this conversation so that like they become uncomfortable being here just as much as we're uncomfortable being here.
Nice. So we it is working very much on their guard. The guy with the blaster rifle, who we're going to call him Sunt. So Sunt is the guard, and he is like he kind of ignores you at one point because he realizes you're going to you've got an answer for most everything. So we skip to Captain Marseille. You're handing off the data pad. He takes a look at it. It's apologies, Captain. We'll go ahead and check out your ship to make sure that you are not the smugglers you say you aren't.
Sure. And she sort of goes and says, and as she's starting to go up the gangplank, she actually stops and looks under the ship and then looks back at Karwu and she goes, it looks pretty good. How is the comm unit? All right. And in some ways, what she's trying to do is like make it sound like the comm unit is important, so that if they get suspicious of looking at things, they'll go under the ship to look for things rather than upside, if that makes any sense.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, let's see if that trick works. So we'll yeah, I know.
I can't find the link to the roller. Where do
no problem. I'll drop it I'll drop it into chat right now. I won't because Greg beat me.
It's a race.
Oh.
I lost.
All right.
Let's go again with a lucky 7.
Lucky 7 on what skill?
You tell me what stat you want to test. Charm?
Not really. I would rather do it on brains, but sure, we can do charm. Let's see.
Unless you think it's solving an intellectual problem.
It is a, how do you say, social calculus situation, just to plant that seed that maybe if there's any place to look, it would be the underside of the ship.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, you get a bonus of +2 to charm checks when interacting with an authority figure, though.
Maybe you should roll that D8 then.
I'll try it. Let's see.
I just
it's true.
looked and I saw that and I thought that is kind of amazing.
I'm on the wrong one. I have too many roll with me's going right now.
You should only have one. There can be only one.
Okay, so I'm going to roll this and add 2. And I rolled a 1, so that gives me a 3.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
What was your target?
5.
Oh,
7.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
Cool. So
yeah, I can give you a stirring speech to make you fail a little bit less, but that's not going to help.
No, let's not.
So it's one of those where he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you head in, and he says, "Okay, where are your weapons lockers?"
Okay, and she'll point over there. She goes, "We don't have much in she, yeah, she'll just point him to him in that thing, and she goes, "Is there anything else you need?" And she goes, "I could show you our cargo," and she puts the quotes there.
But you said this was a passenger ship.
I know. That's why and that I will show you the cabins. She stops.
All right. Show me the cabins.
All right.
I'm going towards the gun turrets. Just, I know these authority types, and the things can go very weird very quickly. And I will also use the comlink and contact Karwu and say, "Hey, how are we coming on the repairs? I mean, how quickly can we get off this planet? Or how much time do you need?"
Oh, we could go anytime. I'm super interested in this speeder.
Okay, maybe we might need to, though. I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. And I think he sees Ivory, he being Baku. He sees Ivory, Arataki.
And she sort of stops and goes, there are a lot of people in the worlds out there. He said, I don't understand you. And she's very kind of annoyed with him at that moment when he says that like that. And she get that kind of thing like old men. Even though he's like what, 25 or something.
Yeah, oh, he's super young, but he's
and she says something like under her breath about old men.
That's great. That's very teenager. And he sees Ivory. He says, well, Ratatak is a barbaric and savage planet. And Ivory, like, she casts her eyes down. She can't really deny that, especially since she hasn't been there in a long, long time. And then you hear a sneeze. And the sneeze is not from any of you. It's from inside the ship.
Right.
Yeah, it's not good. So what was that?
Someone sneezed, and she sort of, and she'll keep on walking towards the cabins.
Do we need to break out the sonar device? It's obvious you have some smuggling plates, hidden compartments. Out with it, Captain Marseille.
Do we have smuggling compartments?
No, I don't think you guys do, but you did.
And she sort of
smuggle
turns on
some
him.
people.
Well, yeah, we did. And she goes, we have smuggling compartments? And she goes, this is a relatively new ship. If we have smuggling compartments, please show me. And she's like...
Ivory says, I have a place where I hide my death sticks. Does that count? No. We're going to impound the ship.
No, you're not.
I thought you didn't want us to be on your planet. Now you're impounding the ship.
Something doesn't add up.
We're leaving. We're not taking anything with us. We're not leaving anything behind.
Cut back outside to Karawu with your guard, who now has a picture, Sunkbar on.
Yes.
Says, listen, if you guys just, why are you really here? Just be straight with me, okay?
I thought we were. We crash landed here. We don't mean to inconvenience you, and we plan to leave. I've made my way around to like the back. I'm trying to find a spot where he can't see me.
Okay.
Oh, I want to plant the tracker device on this skiff instead. So
okay.
that the sales priest comes after the skiff.
Nice. Since you're moving around and he's already been made uncomfortable, we'll set that at a difficulty of 6.
Okay. Would that be brains? Because I'm trying to like put it in somewhere. Or is that charm? Because it's easy to do, but I'm distracting him.
I think let's go with charm. You're pretty charming anyway. So let's see if you can get away with charming folks.
All right. Oh no. Oh no.
Hmm?
2 on a D20 is pretty terrible.
That was a 2.
Let's see here. We could really use that tracking device to be done. Do you want to re-roll?
Yes.
I mean, I just screwed my roll up, so you might as well.
Although last time we tried to be lucky, it didn't work out so well, but we'll give it another shot.
Come on, now roll a 3.
All right, here we go. That's a 12. Hey.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, it's one of those where he looks and you disappear for a little bit. You clink it on. It's magnetized. You knew that. So you head right on the other side and he's none the wiser. And he says, listen, He leans down a little bit off the skiff, kind of holds onto the railing, his gun's out of the way. He says, listen, this is a hut skiff. The hut who controls this section is very worried about people moving in on his territory.
Oh. No, we're not here to move in on his territory. We didn't even want to be here. We didn't actually plan where we were going at all. It was a wild jump.
I can tell. I mean, you guys have seen some trouble. The blaster bolts, the crash. It's pretty obvious you're on the run from something. You're not bringing it here, are you? Give me your word on that, and I'll talk to Baku, and you guys can just go.
Oh, no, we wouldn't bring anything here. We're trying to leave.
Well, that's pretty obvious. Okay. All right, Karwu. And he sits back and he walks over to the little comm unit on the skiff itself and picks up the little thing. It says, hey, Baku, it checks out. Just let these kids go. Baku says, no, I think they're lying. Baku, it checks out. Let these kids go. Baku looks around. Captain, I know you're lying. But whatever you're lying about, we don't care about. Get off of my carking planet.
I'll do that as soon as I can.
And he clumps down the gangplank, and his buddies head off, and they go to the skiff. And then the skiff lifts up and turns and starts to head back down the river. What do you do?
Well, I turn around and go open up the weapons locker. So Sarah and Daya can get out.
And Sarah kind of falls out.
Who sneezed?
And he grabs his leg, and the very flexible Dia steps out nimbly and says, I should have tranked you, you carking idiot. He says, what? Stupid perfume you wear. You told me you like this perfume. Well, I did until I had to be stuck in it. So you didn't have to
start
shoot
the ship.
anybody. I didn't hear any blasters. Are we okay?
We'll see.
And the ship starts up. And Dia will say, come on, get up, you idiot. Stupid nerf herder. Let's go. Wow, I can't believe you got us out of that. I thought we were going to have to. Yeah.
She goes, Karwu got us out of it.
Oh.
And
Dia
without
seems
firing-
impressed.
Without firing a blaster, I'm impressed too. I really thought we would have to, I don't know, do a bit of violence or something like that.
I think Karwu has made his way back to the ship now and looks around and zeroes in on Sero, goes, what did you do to piss off a hut?
Zero says, funny story. Aren't we leaving?
We are. But
And tell me
please.
why we shouldn't be leaving you here too.
Because I've paid to be a passenger.
It's true. Where did you want to go?
Oh, if you could get us to, and Rich wants to glance and make sure he says the name right. Eliad, maybe?
You know that?
Let's see here. Eliad.
It's around C6, so it's actually like a hop and a half away from Yelsane.
That should be pretty easy. Sure.
Do we ever get passengers who aren't in trouble?
No. Or, well, sometimes we get ones who are out to make trouble.
Iris says, I think we've had some, but they're so boring we forget them.
Yeah, there was this little Rhodian. The only trouble he had was that he was always singing opera at the top of his voice.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he was fine.
Oh. And then at this point, like all of the stress is built up on Carwu, and he just kind of collapses in a corner.
Cool. So you guys start up the ship, and I assume you're going to try to get off of Yelsane?
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely. Yeah.
Take off, you leave atmosphere, get into space, and of course, immediately Riffin will start trying to patch in coordinates, grabbing new feeds to make sure and update the astronavigation charts when a ship comes out of hyperspace and immediately hails you. Zyra, it is known as the Foreboding. And
That's the ship, or?
the ship is known as the Foreboding, and it is using Zygerian transponder codes. What?
We should go. We should go. We don't want to talk to these guys. These are slavers. Let's go.
And she goes, okay. Now, do we know that you put the tracking thing on the skiff below?
Yeah, I probably told you guys about that.
All right. She goes, dip back down onto the atmosphere. She goes, let's run along the ground for a bit and then back up. If we can lose them there, there's plenty of trees. And she sort of stops. She goes, then our tracking beacon might actually look like it's a possibility for them.
Tricky. That's pretty clever. Riffin will say, God, you're just going to screw up all of my calculations. Fine, I'll start all over. This is all in beeps and whirs and whistles.
Yeah, you know how many I'll turn him and say, you know how many binary square words I'm learning here? I'm a teenager. And I've turned the ship around and dump back and dive back into the atmosphere.
Well, this sounds like an impressive task, so we'll say an 11.
Oh, well, okay. I think I will want to save my poor thingy tokens, adversity tokens, and I will roll. Do I get to use any part of our ship for this because I'm flying the ship,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a thrusters thing, though, so let's take a look. What other options do we have here?
We have shields.
We have shields, scanners, mid-range. Support vehicle, probably not. Our Bacta tank, no, I don't think so. Light speed engines, well, not in the atmosphere. No, let's not do that. It's not that bad yet.
I think maybe shields, like you're using your shields to shield yourself a little bit as you dip down into the atmosphere and hide where you're going. Otherwise, like, what are these core systems for? So we'll go shields. You get a D6 of shields.
Okay, fine. Don't forget to take this out. No, it's not a D100. And one a D6. Roll the dice. Come on. But I make it.
Yeah, you do.
I do, but
you sound impressively.
It's not impressive. It's mostly not impressive because I spent a lot of time looking for lost cats.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time looking for lost cats, and you actually zip over a plane where there is an entire herd of fathiers.
Oh, right.
Quadrupeds.
These are I think they're the ones from Cantabite, right?
Yes, they are. They're loping along the plains like a herd, like this huge migration of them, and then Yeah,
See,
it's-
that's what the giant lost cats eat, I think.
maybe could be.
Maybe. They're probably
Sure.
what's the word? Carnivores.
They are
Carnivores.
carnivores. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you kind of zip back up as the foreboding is dipping down into the atmosphere, chasing after you, and you realize that it's lost your scent going after the tracking beacon.
Yes. And I turn to Marcy and says, "What? I mean, I don't like them, but what do they want with us? Did any of us piss them off, or was that me?
Someone paid them to come after the ship.
Oh, okay. I guess. Yeah. Look, there's a lost cat.
Ooh. Ooh.
You guys hit atmosphere again,
Yeah.
and
Bye, lost cats.
and then pop in the coordinates and zip to head into hyperspace. So
we could make good money if we worked out some sort of Yellowstone or, essentially a safari to the place. Be completely illegal.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But who wouldn't pay money to watch a giant lost cat? Maybe we can come back and do a sort of a documentary for the HoloNet.
Ooh, that would be really cool. And it would also help us sell those safaris. That's a great idea.
We barely made it out there alive.
But we made it out there alive. The sign from the Force.
All right. We're on the path now.
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys are in hyperspace. I have a scene that I want to happen, but I'm checking in. Are there any scenes that you guys want to happen? Any scenes you'd like to have while you're in hyperspace that moves at the speed of plot?
Ooh. Let me see. I think one scene I would like to go and talk to Karwu. And she sort of comes back to Karwu and she goes, "Did a really good job with the landing gear and getting everything fixed so fast. I just want to say one thing to you.
What's that?
That mechanic's hair, that is a no-go. Absolute no-go." All right?
The what?
The hair. Don't think I didn't see it.
Sorry, out of character. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The
One
She's-
mechanic guy
she's
had
talking
the
about the
spiky
mohawk.
hair.
oh,
With the spiky mohawk.
what do you mean it's a no go? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
She goes, "That looks good on no one.
Well, I think if we just moved a little bit, maybe did it onto the side for you.
No alternate part will make it okay."
But it might make you look a little more mature.
That is not what it would make me look. You did a good job. I'm just putting that one little limit on there, okay? Not there.
Not the color.
The color was fine. The color
Okay.
was fine. All right.
I think that's in the greenhouse. I think Karwu has these greenhouse plants is what he practices on. So it's like he's like pruning little shrubbery. It's almost like bonsai kind of thing in the greenhouse. So he like practices hairstyles on these little space shrubs.
Oh.
And so he's like trimming one to have a mohawk now.
I call this one travesty there.
Cool. So after Captain Marseille leaves you, Karwu, and you're still in the greenhouse, maybe looking over the spiked mohawk, chia pet type.
And I think I
Oh,
just want it's more of a vignette. I just want us to see where Sarah goes somewhere on the ship where probably it's not very useful, and she will paint a giant lost cat all over the whole hallway, just so you look up and you see like you're walking through the mouth of this giant lost cat.
That's cool. To scale. Yeah, Dia Bonduna, the Twillick, makes her way to check in with you at the greenhouse. Karwu.
Idea? You don't normally come to the greenhouse?
Well, it's interesting. It smells nice. What are you doing with that plant?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Just, you gotta trim them off, and I just like shave the mohawk off of it.
Oh. Is that a hobby? Are you a botanist too?
Yes. Yes, I love botany. I love plants.
She comes up and she stands like in your personal bubble as she's looking, and she reaches over and kind of runs her hand over the plant where you've trimmed everything off. So these have to be trimmed?
Yes. Yes. Or you run out of oxygen on the ship, so important duty.
Yeah, the older ships needing greenhouses is fascinating to me. I've never been on a ship that still had them. I actually remember one that was retrofitted, and they'd replace the greenhouse with this hollow suite. It was tacky. This is pretty. I like this. It's better.
I think the view is the best part. And it's like on the top, so there's like a big glass dome.
Oh, you aren't kidding. I don't know if you heard that Cerro nearly got us blasted. When I thanked Captain Marseille, she said that you saved our bacon. What did you do?
Oh, well, they showed up on a skiff that was obviously a hut skiff. I just kind of called their bluff. You don't have anything to do with Cerro and that hut, do you?
Would you hate me if I said I do?
I guess not. We do get a lot of complicated passengers.
It's a complicated life out there.
I didn't even think of this until now. What if we're on the bad side of the hut now?
I don't know. Probably not. You just landed on a planet and then took off. If they found out that you were hiding us, maybe. But we got away with it, right?
I hope so. Oh, gee, now I don't think I know.
She moves her hand from the plant and just kind of puts it on your shoulder. You realize that Zyra and Marseille and Ivory are only going to continue to make your life complicated.
I know.
So why do you do this?
Because, I don't know. I guess half-heartedly I enjoy it.
That's cute. You like pushing yourself out of your own comfort zone, huh?
A little bit.
she reaches her hand up and kind of trails it over the outer part of your ear. It's real cute. And then she turns and walks out of the greenhouse.
I think there's a shrub that has a little Twi'lek Leku coming off of it.
Nice. That's really cool. Sweet. So we have Zyra with the Lothcat impression, which is awesome. Captain Marseille, anyone you wanted to talk to or no? You're talking on mute?
Say, let's get there.
Okay, cool. So Eliad is the planet
Just one
where
question.
yes.
Can I spend my 2 improvement points for something on the ship and then it magically was always there?
Yes.
Cool. We have turbo lasers now.
That's pretty helpful.
Yeah, I thought so.
That's nice. Eliad is the planet where, when Palpatine came into power, a number of core world nobles were offered exile instead of, the sticky situation of being executed or trumped up on charges. And quite a few core world nobles accepted it. They ended up here on Eliad. After the Alliance to Restore the Republic was looking for recruits, a number of them signed up. And with the new Republic in place, there's been a mass exodus of very rich nobles who have been exiled here, leaving Eliad, which is a generally arid planet with large deserts. There's a bunch of vacated homes here. Just imagine there's a mass migration of people who just stripped everything they could, took the copper pipes out of the walls, and threw it all on a ship to go back home. That is Eliad. But there are some of the nobles who have remained, like some who are cautious, and others who maybe they had actually established some roots here. That's generally what is the political situation on Eliad. You guys come out of hyperspace and you are greeted by an automated planetary control system. There are droids effectively running things right now because they are on a skeleton crew. Everybody keeps leaving. They hey, I'm going to put in my 1 hour notice, and they're hopping on a ship and getting out of here. But Dia and Dia and Saro will give you guys the instructions to head to the main spaceport on Eliad, and unless you have something you want to do, then they will disembark.
I think we refuel, and of course Marseille says, should we wait or shall we go on?
Dia kind of does that head waggle as she's considering it. She says, if you get a job to get you off planet, go. If you're still around in an hour and we call frantically for you on the comms, come.
All right.
I actually have a thing I want to do on this planet, so we probably maybe have more than an hour, if that's okay with you, Mar.
Sure.
Because I really want to know what why this foreboding was after us and who they are and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I think there's a chapter of my old Merc crew here, and maybe I can hit them up and maybe they know something.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I have this move. It's not a move. It's a thing. I have this thing.
An improvement.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I can spend an adversity token to locate and receive help within reason and without making any stat check from my guys.
Nice.
Versus my sentience. Damn.
I love it. So you end up heading in. Are you bringing anybody along?
I don't know. Anybody want to come with? Carl, maybe?
Yeah,
Or
I
Mark?
don't.
Or both?
Oh, I've never met the Unbound, so it's sort of. I'll go and put the offer for uh, travel or offer for passage up. And since it's just first come, first serve, here for a short time. And then I will go with Zyra. I would love to meet these mercenaries. They sound so interesting.
They are. They're
Oh.
totally cool.
Really.
I think Carlo will go as well.
Yes.
And he's put the double checks the locks and engages the remote control thing so that we can reposition the ship if needed.
And Riffin will tell you, yes, of course, just leave me here. That's fine. I didn't want to go. All in bleeps and whistles. I think Ivory will follow. She throws on like a kind of a for lack of a better term, a Kevlar jacket, like an armored jacket, and then puts a cloak on top of it as if she's expecting trouble.
And I'm looking at her and I'm saying, hey, Ivory?
Yes?
Don't try to liberate stuff from my guys, yeah?
Oh, right. No, of course not. No. But they're just like, they don't own the cantina, right?
No, they don't own the cantina.
So
they
everything
own
else
their
is
office and
everything else
everything
is okay.
Everything. I don't care about everything else. Is free to liberate for you, but don't take stuff from my fella, my OCs and everybody else there. Okay.
Got you, Zai. No problems. I will not create an uncomfortable situation. I mean, I wouldn't get
it would
caught.
mostly be an uncomfortable situation for you, but I mean.
He taps the armored vest. Okay.
Kind of love that girl.
So you end up heading into like the Merc Guild here on Eliad. Their office is they've rented out a few rooms in a kind of cantina that's also like I'm imagining it a little bit more like an old style fantasy inn. So it's like inn and tavern kind of deal. So they've just rented out some of the empty rooms that people used to stay in that have vacated. Now that's where they run the office. And you're set to meet with Captain Deslock. He's the captain of the Kamaglia Claw, which is a freelancer currently working for the New Republic. And he's also a member of the Unbound. He has a cybernetic right arm. He is near human. He also has cybernetic eyes, but he wears these like goggles to make it look like he's wearing goggles to hide that, he's had a shine done to his eyes. So you come into the cantina, there's some Bish music playing, and as you come in, it's there are a lot of spacers here. This is like a cantina. It's like right in the spaceport. So it's relatively busy. Would he know you by sight, or is he just waiting for you to show?
Muted. Oh, since I'm muted, I guess not.
You guess not?
Since I was muted. I don't know if he knows me, but we probably have the same acquaintances. So.
Okay. Cool. You've got some kind of code word or something to.
Yeah, I'll just ask him if he knows Grask Tarvo, Weekway.
Oh man. So he's in this area. It's not like settled up at a table. He's not at the bar. There are these like couches with these low tables, and he has one kind of dusty boot up on the coffee table, and he's got this little goblet or whatever. And when you come in, do you know Grass Tarvo?
Yeah, okay, you know him.
You're Zyra then.
I'm Zara, yeah.
Nice. Mentioned
These
you.
are guys of my crew, who I'm currently flying with. That's my captain, Marseille, and that's our mechanic.
He sits up a little straighter, like pulls his boot down, gives you a he doesn't stand, but it feels like That's him paying you some respect, Captain.
Hmm?
Karwu, I'm Captain Deslock. And he gestures with his cybernetic arm. This is the Athorian over there. That's Ronil. She's my tech. And you see there is an Athorian, this like standing near this ancient looking machine that seems to be like it's got manual inputs and some kind of like electronic display, and she seems to be fiddling with it. Maybe it's some kind of game or something. It says, so what brings you to Eliad, Zyra?
Business mostly, but what brings me to you is I've got a question, because we recently ran across the foreboding Siberian make ship, and I wonder, they seem to want something from us, and I kind of didn't check what they wanted because, I've been warned to keep my distance, and that is actually a warning that I'm taking seriously. Yeah, I know.
Foreboding. That sounds familiar. Hold on. And he reaches down. I don't know if you are looking at the picture of Captain Deslock. I love
Yes.
this picture. It tickles me. It's on row 14. It looks as if he has an ancient like calculator of some kind that's on his belt. And I think he just like whips that out and types in a few things. And it whirs as if it should be printing something on paper, but he hasn't replaced the paper in a while, but he looks at the display. Your uncle's looking for you.
My what now?
Blood. Your blood uncle.
Okay. Okay. I don't know my blood family, so.
Well, it seems this one knows you. He's got an all call out with your description. He's looking for you. Doesn't say why, but he's offering a reward for information leading to your. Doesn't say capture, says connection. Probably means capture though, right?
I mean, connection is different. And I'm looking at Mara. How much is the reward on that?
He turns it to where you can see it, Captain Marseille. You could buy a really nice speeder with that. Can't hear you.
You're muted, Sherry.
Top-notch speeder, but not a ship.
No, not a ship.
Oh, still. I tide us over, and if you want to talk to him and sell him the establishment of a connection, I mean, I can still then shoot him or tell him to carg off or something.
And she sort of stops and she asks Captain Deslock, is he a slaver?
Yeah.
She goes, I don't trust him.
I don't trust him if anyone's asking me either.
I don't trust him either, but I mean, what I'm proposing here is more of a heist than of some familiar reconciliation or some stuff like that.
Timing is suspicious. She goes, let me see if I can plot a course that'll keep them running after us. And we'll see what we can figure out.
Okay.
Shame I put that tracking device somewhere. That would have been the perfect trap.
No, I think it's still good that they have a snarl back on, they'll say.
I mean, they will realize eventually that they're not following us anymore. But I mean, I'm just suggesting it. We don't have to do that. I'm not wild on reconnecting with blood family or something. I have my family here.
Zyra, do
Yeah.
you have no contact with your family, your blood family? Is that right?
No. I was found as a kid on a slaver ship, and we never were sure if I was just a slave kid or a slaver's kid. And I think Grask, at least, he never looked too deeply into it. I was really little when that happened, so I've never known anybody but the Unbound.
A Ty Taff, the captain of the foreboding, is a prince of the royal house.
Ooh, cool.
Well, cool, or he's trying to eliminate all of the competition.
Does that make you
What?
royalty, Zyra?
Yay, I'm Princess Syra. Drinks for all.
I pay for the drinks, Rich.
Deathlock will order a drink. He's like, yeah, I'll take a drink.
I want a drink too. Cool. Next goal is then it's general, I guess.
And then she goes, no, we can look into this. Let's, I don't know. We need a trick.
Mirage, during the Clone Wars, Mirage Sintel established that the monarchy would flow through the female heirs.
Yeah, I've heard of a Queen of Siberia, but wasn't she killed during the Clone Wars or something?
She was.
So sad.
Isn't there something on the HoloNets about some old Republic ships showing up? Where was that?
Oh,
Which planet was that they showed up at?
Did we establish a planet?
I don't think we
No.
did.
No, it was some of the far off colony ones, though, we know. And actually, they were up in the north in this part of the cluster.
Yeah, it was. We'll say it was in Traven.
Traven. Okay.
It's
yeah,
the big-
outside Traven. Maybe. Oh, Syra, are they looking for you?
yeah, sure. Everybody's looking for Princess. Hey, come on. Ah,
I can't
How
outrun a
about-
fleet.
Rich, can
why
I
not? Says who?
can I make contact with my family to ask them to look into the situation with the royals of the people? Like if there's like a big upset, someone's gone, someone's died,
Mhm.
secession, that kind of thing.
Sure.
I will
That
make
sounds
that
awesome.
request. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's give you a do you feel like this is solving an intellectual problem, like a brains thing?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to put together what's actually going on here. So
All right. Sweet. So I tell you what, if you want to just take some time, then I'll allow it as a planned action, and you can effectively take half of your value and
Okay.
be successful. But if you wanted to like snap it off because you're in a hurry, then we'll need to roll dice.
no, I don't have a problem. We have a whole hour. That's forever. So I am not like going, tell me right now. Also, I get a +3 bonus when I'm defending my crewmates, which is what I'm attempting to do here, is to make sure.
Oh, nice. So with
that
all
they
of
will
that, you spend a little bit of time, you reach out. So, Mar, tell me a bit about your immediate family. How many siblings do you have?
I have 9 siblings.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And where are you in that like
I'm the
age?
youngest.
You're the youngest.
I am the youngest, yes. So, and like at the 10th point, it's not like the baby is the baby, like they've been babied. It's like the youngest is the one that it's like they're, oh, please, let's just get this over with to some extent. So she always concentrated on being super perfect and super good at the things, but she still was, it was a big, very busy family. Let's put it that way.
Big busy family. Awesome. So you reach out, and I've just stuck into and I apologize if you hate themed names. I can change it. But I've just stuck in on row 14 of the NPCs and places, your eldest brother, Karsay.
Ooh, okay. Sure. And we actually have super long names.
Yeah, these are all.
It's that. Yeah, it's just
This is the commonly known as type thing. This is what you
Exactly.
call each other, but
there's
okay.
a long formal name.
And so there's a bleep on your comm, and a little hollow comes up of your eldest brother,
Car.
Mar. It's been a while. What are you doing on Eliad?
No, we were dropping off some passengers.
Oh, good. How is that going?
Pretty well, actually. Because I've got a legal situation. I'll probably send the notes over to the lawyers. But other than that, frictionless.
Good. Good.
I have a question.
Yeah. I saw the question. I wanted to respond. You're checking in about that fleet that's been seen. You're not engaged with that fleet, are you?
Not at all.
Good. So that's a Zygarian fleet. They are. I'm not sure why they're here. It seems to be there's some kind of splinter from the royal house. They're not really outgoing about their politics. They're relatively lucrative. We've spoken with some of the suppliers for the fleet. It's old Republic tech.
Like the ship?
Yeah, like the ship you're on. A few models similar to it. And then some large, capital class ships. This is definitely a threat to the New Republic, although it doesn't seem like they are at war with anyone yet. They seem to be waiting for something.
So, see if this fits into any patterns. My pilot, Zyra, you've met her. All of a sudden, her uncle is looking for her.
That's interesting.
There's been plenty of time in between now and then for them to be interested, but now it's all of a sudden.
The same time that a small fleet shows up out of nowhere. Seems like they'd be related, which is not good for your friend.
Arvo is the name of the royal family. I just bought her drinks because she just found out she's a princess.
Oh, point of fact, Tarvo is not the name of the royal family.
Whatever name it is.
Yeah.
What name is it?
The Taff.
The Taff, let's just say.
Okay, well, if you need someone to run some smoke screens or make sure that your friend has some protections, I'll help in the best way I can.
If you hear anything that makes it clear what the objective is, just send a message, okay?
Of course. Stay safe, sis, okay?
I will.
Our parents gave up after you having any more kids. That you were perfection, so I have to keep you alive.
Oh, yes, that's the best reframing of all of that that I've heard so far. Good to talk to you, Car.
You too, Mar.
And so she goes, that's right, perfection. Smooth her shirt down.
And I think after you finish that conversation, two things happen. The first thing that happens is that Sero and Dia come running into the cantina.
Okay.
You see that Sero's right arm is bleeding. And Dia looks around frantically. He's leaning on her. They see you, and she waves frantically. And at the same time, there is a Trandoshan, the lizardmen dudes, who grabs Ivory and throws her against the wall, screaming, give me my Karking com badge.
All right. I think I cut across the room to Ivory. I put my hand out for the badge. I take the badge and I throw it back at the lizard man, and I grab her by the arm and we start running towards the door. When we get there, I'll grab Sarah. I mean, I will try to help.
Hold on. Let's
Okay,
leave it. Let's
that's
leave
all,
it there.
yeah.
That's it's
Okay,
like 6
that's it.
actions. Let's see.
Oh,
I
that
like
was
that.
6. Oh my God.
It felt like it. It's good. We're not quite that story game, okay?
I
Cool.
want you to
So
know what my route is. That's all.
I love it. No, Mar, you run over to try to extricate Ivory from being caught from trying to pickpocket a Trandoshan. So Zyra, what's your reaction as, of course, Captain Deathlock is reaching for his blaster, thinking he's going to have to kill some people?
I'll just say it's gonna be. We're going to get her out without shooting people. Don't worry. She always does this. Catch up with you later. See you. Bye.
And then what about Carwu? What is Carwu doing?
As Zyra is explaining that we're not going to shoot anyone, don't worry about it, Carwu pulls out his blaster pistol and shoots the lights.
That's awesome. So you fire up and the lights flick, flick, boom, and there's
Except
a pause.
for the lights.
The lights go out. We hear a little bit of a scream. You hear the Athorian who is he's like, "Oh, I almost had a high score!" And that's when Marseille, you and Ivory, extricating yourselves from the Trandoshan, come over, and Dia says, "We've got to go. The Pike Syndicate's all over the place." And that's where we'll end today's session.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, we'll do a quick 2 improvement points for everyone. That seems fun, and it allows you to have some growth. Like, it's funny because advancements is in this game's written as if it's a surprise. It's like, while there isn't any traditional leveling up in this game, you can gain new improvements if you want. It's so funny. And instead of like talking about ongoing campaigns, is called playing multiple games, which I think is the most bizarre header for having more than one session. I've literally read it as, you mean you want to have more than one game of Teens in Space going at the same time? Why are there rules for that? But then it turns out, no, it just means multiple sessions. I'd love to do Stars and Wishes, friends, if you have some time. So we got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and do Stars and Wishes. We will start with wishes so that we can end with stars. Who's got some wishes to share?
I wonder if we'll be able to get to the race, actually. I mean,
5 sessions. Who knows?
yeah, 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, race.
Well, I think the race would, my thing is I was thinking the race would be a great way to, how should we say, make ourselves hard to get to, because we're in the race and so are all these other ships. So it would be a great camouflage of sorts.
There's a part of me that almost thinks we just hard frame into you guys like moments before the race begins.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, that like the race would be a great way to pull off the heist style thing where we surrender you to your uncle, but then he's also in the race or something. I don't know. I agree. I want to see that, and I want to see I really am interested in this Zyra's family thing. Zyra is suddenly, a potential heir who we have to protect. I'm into that, and I want to see where it goes. That's my wish.
Yeah. I think that would be great. Particularly if we've gotten ourselves signed up for the race, so we're officially in it. So your uncle would not be officially in it. He would be
an interloper.
He would be an interloper. He'd be breaking the rules.
Yeah, and we could then motivate everybody else in the race to take a pot shot at him or something.
Exactly.
Also, I would like to see a space battle at one point, but maybe not before we've added more improvements to our weapons arrays.
Okay. All right. Sounds interesting. Any other wishes? We kind of popcorned that out, so
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we didn't miss any. Okay, cool. Then let's circle back around to stars. Sabine, you kicked off wishes and then we popcorned, so I'll just let you kick off stars and see where that goes.
Okay. Stars to everybody. I loved Carvu running up to the skiff because, hey, that's an interesting skiff and it seems like it belongs to a hut. That was amazing. And I also love Mar being always so businesslike. Like, yes, we're doing this and then we're doing that. And now we're doing it like adults. But she's basically still a teenager. And sometimes it shows. I like that. I like that a lot. And I will give some stars to the fluffy lost cat.
Yay.
Yay.
Cause I don't know. Yeah, lost cats. Fun.
Cool. Thank you, Sabine. Sherry, what about you? What stars did you have?
Oh, all of you are so awesome. Going off to look at the lost cat in the middle of all of that was excellent. And of course, it was, and Karwu, you are amazing. Your greenhouse scene will live with me forever. Yes. And Rich, how do you get these pictures so fast? I don't get it. Do you just have like the best Pinterest somewhere that you're hiding from me?
I do have a pretty decent Pinterest going, and I actually have dropped a lot of Pinterest into a specific like Imgur file because it's easier for me to grab pics from Imgur and drop them into Google spreadsheets. But I'll try to migrate some stuff over and make sure I share that Pinterest with you.
Okay, cool. Just in case I have to play other Star Wars stuff. So,
Well, that
Yeah,
sounds fun
yeah.
to me.
you know, you want to be prepared for those things. But yeah, it was all lovely. And I am excited about using the race for a camouflage, so to speak. So,
Yeah. Like it. Cool. Greg, what about you?
Stars to Sabine for tying in Zop, my
That
Rhodian
little-
opera bounty hunter, and I love that the person that you came up with as an example of a person who was not trouble is possibly one of like the most troublesome bounty hunters in
So
Star
much
Wars
trouble.
Saturdays. Zop is a ton of trouble. It's amazing he didn't get you all killed. And then Sherry, I loved that when you were confronted about not being the captain, you're like, screw it, we'll get the manifest. Like, I got paperwork. I'm the captain.
I have paperwork. That is the best comeback. I thought it was going to be a snit. No, I have paperwork.
I have paperwork. No, I'm the captain, which was excellent. I love that. And then I love Rich. I love that we brought the Forest Punk Swoop Gang. They're becoming slowly one of my favorite recurring Star Wars Saturday groups that show up. I'm glad they all
so
survived last time that they showed up, and that they're causing more trouble everywhere they go. And they're so into metal, which is hilarious.
I'm glad you dug them. I was like, this is super self-indulgent. I'm going to do it anyway. Sweet. Thank you very much, Greg. Yes, this is just the right speed of game that I need on Saturday mornings. You all are fun, and I love how like this is very swashbuckly, like super swashbuckly, the pace at which we are playing this game, and I'm having a good time. And I appreciate the suggestions of like the race and the reminder of tying back to like, hey, we had this rumor for the Old Republic thing, and I brought that back. Hopefully that will be an interesting result. So yeah, all good stuff. I really enjoy how we set things up in first session, and everybody's making sure we tie back. We greenhouse scene and all those little bits that we're using to create the canon of a tighter story rather than going off and a new direction every 5 seconds. It keeps it cohesive, and I appreciate that a lot because then it's easier to tie things at the end. So with that, we'll go ahead and bring the recording to a close. Thank you all so much, and we'll play next week.